Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Montgomery, Texas, taking a look at another gorgeous luxury home. And this time, we have a model by Partners in Building. Now, starting on the outside, family, we have the high-pitched roofs. You have the stucco, the brick, along with the natural stone. Now, you have a 3-car tandem garage straight ahead. You see the wood garage door. Beautifully landscaped, as you can see. Now, the cool thing about this one is the model just opened, which is absolutely fascinating. You are the first to see this one. So as we continue, you have a generous sized covered front porch. Look at the outdoor sconces right here. First time we've seen this on this particular channel. And then as we continue, you have the double front door with the glass panes. Look at the slope design, recessed lights as well, and absolutely stunning as far as the brick is concerned. But let's go ahead and get you inside the stunning property. Okay, so right when you walk in, you are greeted with the double height ceilings. You have the catwalk. You see straight ahead to the great room. Before I continue, as always, I'm going to turn you around so you can see the front doors from the inside. Impressive. So you have the floating staircase. We'll get to the second level momentarily. I'll show you the great room first and foremost. So look at that. You have the clear story windows. You have your double built-ins, as you can see. Now you have the built-in shelving with the LED strips. I know you folks are absolute fans of those. Then you have the sliders overlooking the backyard. Look how interactive and cozy this layout is. Now, as we continue to the kitchen, quartzite material. You'll see that extends up the backsplash here. Then of the two-tone countertops and the two-tone cabinetry. Always a plus to see. Now, look at the pendant lights, how that complements the countertops. Now, you are going to have the accents throughout the home. You'll see that. You have a sleek vent hood. Look how modern and elegant that looks. Okay, so you have high-end Gen Air appliances. You see your double oven. You have your stainless steel refrigerator. If you prefer to opt for possibly the panel ready, you can always do that as well. Now we'll take our time in the kitchen. I'll show you some of the storage that you get, and we'll work our way around. So you got your trash drawer on the left side of your sink. And then look at the glass panes for our cabinet fronts. Lovely. Now, as we continue, you have the breakfast nook, but you notice you have the sliders inside as well. Massive light fixture right above your dining table. You have clear story windows, or rather picture windows overlooking the backyard patio. So a generous amount of space, perfect for hosting. And then take a look at this game room. Okay, so right off the bat, you see the coffered ceiling, recessed lights, you have built-in cabinetry, shaker style. But what's neat and something you don't see often is look at the sconces for your cabinet fronts. You don't see that often. That's a pretty neat feature. And I love to see that Partners in Building really push the boundaries. Okay, so you have the wood floors that extends this way. Now, this is going to lead you to a guest suite. So if you are entertaining, having folks in here, they only need to walk a few steps, right, to go to the bedroom. Okay, so you have a queen bed, your 2 nightstands, you see your dresser. You still have a decent amount of walk room, as you can see. I'll stand on this side for you. And look at that. Now, you are going to have this ensuite here. So taking a look at the vanity, you have quartz countertops, the light gray shaker style cabinetry. You see the matte black sconces and mirror frame. Now, as we continue, you have the wood-like tile in a hexagon pattern, or some folks like to refer to as the honeycomb pattern. Look at the tiling for our shower surround and a walk-in closet. The shelving even extends this way. Beautiful. So a lot to work with. You know, we are huge fans of Partners in Building. In fact, gosh, we've probably seen about 15 to 20 of their models across Nashville, Dallas, and Houston. Beautiful. So right behind the kitchen, this is the hallway. So you have a bar area, high-end granite countertops. Look at the stacked cabinetry, even the cabinet fronts, two-tone again. Now you have a powder bath on this side. Look at the wallpaper, how that complements the material from the mirror frame, the countertops, and the cabinets. And look at that. There you go. This is Texas for y'all. Howdy, y'all. You know we like to use that, y'all. Okay, so this is a dual entry pantry. And what I mean by that is you can walk down that hallway from the game room and the powder bath and from the kitchen. So look at this. Leather honed countertops. Look at the way the drawer fronts matches that. An abundance of shelving up here too. So a perfect prep space. Beautiful. So now, as you head this way, this will be coming in from your 3-car garage. Look at the mudroom. You already got your hooks, your shelving. Right here will lead you to your laundry room. You have wall-to-wall cabinetry, quartz counters. Look at the counter space that you have. Even the brick material on our floor that continues from the outside of the property. So I know you can appreciate that. And this will be overlooking your front yard. Now, the cool thing is you see the abundance of mature trees. So the neighborhood that we are in is two-step farm. So as you head out here, you'll see a lot of new development, right? A great clean community, and it is just starting. So you can get in while you can. Now, right over here to the right, you can go ahead and use that as a secondary refrigerator space if you wanted to do that, depending on your personal preferences. That's always a possibility. Now, this is your 3-car garage. You just come in right here, so you have the abundance of space that you would like. 12-foot ceilings, and that extends right back here. So I know some folks talk about using that space. Maybe if you wanted to add a sauna, you can add that right back there comfortably. Maybe even, the treadmill, the Stairmaster, add a nice television, and you don't have to compromise the additional garage space. Beautiful. And this will lead you right back out here. Now, it wouldn't be complete if I didn't open up the refrigerator. So let's do that first, and then we'll take a look at the primary suite. Fully stocked on water, plenty of space. Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue. I like how the primary suite is tucked around this corner here. So we'll head to the left. Now you head down the hallway and look at this. Right before you enter, you have your bar area too. Look at the custom cabinets, the matte black finishes. And then take a look at the primary suite. Incredible. So look at the accent on the ceiling, champagne bronze chandelier right above your king size bed. You have your 2 nightstands. You see the accent wall behind there, cove lighting, and then your 3 egress windows. But again, once you head to this neighborhood, you feel just intertwined with nature. It all is extremely fluid. So that's definitely a plus in my book. Now, you see the space that you have, the walk room. You have your sitting area over here. Of course, this is staged wonderfully, but if you prefer to change some things up, especially if this is your primary residence, then that certainly is your prerogative. Okay, so right behind me, you have the sliding door leading you to your generous sized ensuite. Look at the matte black freestanding tub, a picture window. You don't see that style tub often as far as the matte black is concerned. Now you are going to have quartzite counters for your vanities, his and hers, but you have the waterfall edge, as you can see. Look at the wallpaper that extends right up there. Beautiful, like a fluted design. Got your towel closet here. And then taking a look at this. So it's not actually a wallpaper. It's actually an accent, like a tile accent with that fluted design. But that even extends right here to the shower. The good thing is they included the shower bench, and then you got your shower wand and massive shower head too. Okay, now I'll turn you around over here. Take a look at the second vanity. Beautiful materials, your water closet to the right. And let's take a look at our primary closet. Stunning, family. So looking at that, you have a window bench. You see the drawers and then floor to ceiling shelving. Love to see that. I don't know why, I'm just a huge fan of that ever since we started seeing that more often. So you can sit down right here, put your shoes on, relax, and just have a great time staring at your wardrobe. Lovely. Okay, so I'll make sure to show you the study at the end, so stay tuned for that glass enclosed office. But I want to go ahead and get you to the second level so that way you can see the entire floor plan. So if you haven't, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Always appreciate and value your feedback. And of course, it always helps out for future tours. Now, taking a look here, the floating staircase just sets the tone immediately whenever you walk in. Again, you have the picture windows, so a ton of natural light entering inside the property. Look at the natural stone accents. So you saw in the laundry room that we had the brick material on the floor, right? So they extended that outwards, inwards, and then right here, the same thing with the natural stone. Now, heading right up here, right off the bat, you have this loft area, but look at the built-in desk, even the shelving, the gorgeous light fixtures. They can go ahead and illuminate all of the homework so you don't have to worry about not seeing, right? Now heading here, you have a theater room. Look at the ambiance. So if you turn off the recess lights and you just have the sconces, then trust me, that's going to give you that theater-like feel. And you have plenty of space here. You see the sofa, you have your chair, beautiful decor. And I'll stand on this angle so you can see the full scope. Incredible. So with Partners in Building being a custom builder, a lot of times folks will use some of their floor plans as a starting point, right? But maybe you want to change some things up. Maybe you want a full scullery or possibly a game room in a different section or a different layout or design rather. And when that's the case, you come to Partners in Building with your idea, they bring it to life for you, and then you start the process with them. So just keep that in mind. Now, first bedroom on the second level, queen bed, you have your dresser, your 2 nightstands, and look at the walk room. And you know Partners in Building always does a fantastic job with staging their models. Now, heading inside of the ensuite, look at that, quartz countertops. Same thing with the light gray cabinetry. You have the shower tub combo, and then you have your walk-in closet. Now you will have that access right here. See if this is open. Yes, it is. There we go. Look at the HVAC system. Plenty of storage for those Christmas decorations. So now heading right back out here, this will be going across your catwalk. As always, we'll take a look at the great room from the second level. Look at the amount of natural light that enters. And then, of course, the foyer from the second level. Beautiful. So now continuing down the hallway to the left, you have a storage closet. And again, quick access door for the attic space. To my right, you have your next bedroom. Look at this. So you have the LED ceiling fan, again, a queen size bed. You have your nightstands, your dresser, and then so much room. You can add a chair right there. So now continuing down this way, look at the size of the walk-in closet here, family. You don't see this size for the second level, at least for some of the closets. So you have the abundance of windows in here, even extends around that corner right here. And then you have the built-in shelving, perfect for your shoes or shoe collection. Now, this one is going to be a shared bathroom here. So remember, if your guests are hanging out right there inside of that theater room, they just head, a few steps across that catwalk and then come right over here. But you do have the shower tub combo. As you can see, similar vanity, and then that sleek mirror. Impressive. So a lot of neat features that you've seen throughout the home, even from the cove lighting to the tray ceilings, just increasing the elegance and the appeal inside of the models. Now, a lot of times, they have the spec homes that you can choose from, but a lot of folks really like to build from scratch, especially on their own lot, right? You can choose where you want to place that home, bring your vision to life. So that's always a great thing. Now, heading right out here, look at the height right back here for the patio. That is always appealing to me. Right when you see this, it just is grand. And even when you're driving behind it, you really see that stand out. Now, remember, you have the sliders inside of the breakfast nook and the great room, so you can open that up for the indoor-outdoor feel. You see the clear story windows here if you wanted to add, an additional grill, because there's one right around this corner. But if you wanted to hang out here with the guests, have a great time, get a breath of fresh air, you can always do that. Now, you have a ton of yard, as you can see, not too massive. Of course, not on, the acreage. If that is the case, then you can always build on your own lot. But if you want something inside of a community, have that community feel with amenities, then, you can always head right over here. I know HOAs don't get a good rap. So that's definitely going to determine where you want to, build this property. But right over here, look at that leather home countertops, your sink, your stainless steel grill, you got a beverage fridge, and then you'll notice all along here, that natural stone. So if folks are hanging out there in that patio, the massive patio, then fantastic. If you have more guests than you anticipated, then you head right over here. Look at that. They already have their television, you have sitting area, so it extends this way, and then you have the sliders on the left side too. So you can open that completely up and have a fantastic time. So hopefully this is enough space for you. And then when all else fails, you can add some chairs right here. You see the gravel, you can really get the vitamin D. Now make sure you stay tuned, because I want to show you the glass enclosed office. All right, Rankin family, so as promised, taking a look at this glass enclosed study. Look at the amount of room that you have in here. So whenever you walk into the foyer, this immediately catches your eye. But pay attention to the space that you have in here. In the abundance of room, you have your desk, your chairs, your accent wall right there, the massive matte black light fixture right above your desk. So depending on how you stage your office, if you work from home, that's going to determine how you best utilize this space. But even if not, this is absolutely impressive. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful model home by Partners in Building right here in Montgomery, Texas. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular model. Is this something you can see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.